Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks.
Welcome. This is Erin.
And I'm Tammy.
And this is
Bite-Sized and Bossy. Woo!
We just have to do it in real life, right? So we have a great episode. We're actually recording live at Industries Now Digital Transformation Summit. We're in Chicago, Illinois.
We're in Chicago adjacent.
Yeah, all right, fair. The suburb, but like, can't we just say Chicago? It's fine. It sounds better. But it's a wonderful conference that just kicked off, and we have an amazing guest today. We have Sara Kear. She is the CMO of Condado Tacos. And Sara, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We love to record in real life, so this is very exciting.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's amazing. And so you are our first recording of our live sessions here, and we have a lot coming up. But Sara, for those that don't know you, if you could introduce yourself, and then we're going to jump right in.
Awesome. Yes. So I am Sara Kear, Chief Marketing Officer at Condado Tacos. I have been with Condado for 4 years. Condado is a next-gen casual dining concept. We offer tequila and tacos, all the good stuff. A really yummy queso is probably my favorite personally. And before Condado, I was actually agency side for my whole career. So Condado was my first Chief Marketing Officer role and my first foray into the restaurant industry. So
Okay, wait. So your first CMO role and first job in the restaurant industry?
Wow, you must be really good.
Well, yeah. Okay, so how did that happen? Tell us how
really
that happened.
overwhelmed for a period of time.
Well, and she's in Ohio, right? Which is where real tacos come from, I hear.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
that is
definitely.
authentic.
South of the
Little known
border
fact.
into what state is south of Ohio? I'm so terrible.
Yes.
No, but for real, how did you end up at Condado and as a CMO for your first role?
Yeah. So my background started in performance media, Google search, and then it was a small agency, and it ended up getting acquired. But I kind of went from Google search to organic in Google, and then analytics, and then I just kept taking on more and more responsibility in the agency and worked my way up until I was, a vice president there. Started working with some interesting clients. There's a lot of interesting brands in Columbus. Jenny's Ice Cream.
Yes,
a lot of retails
we love
too.
Jenny's. Oh,
Yeah,
I
Stacey
love
Peterson's at
Jenny's.
Jenny's now, right? Yeah.
Can she send us free ice cream?
I would love free ice cream.
Stacey,
and homage clothing, and I kind of fell in love with like brand, and like we did brand strategy, we did creative development, but you do like this much when you're agency.
Yeah.
And I always really wanted to go like deep and work brand side, and then the opportunity with Condado just became available, and I had connections there, and it was kind of like an advantage on my side. I think that people who are not in marketing don't understand marketing as well. So
Correct.
To them, they're just like, oh, there's this person who's been in agency, who's, been working with all of these cool other brands. And so, but I knew that it was going to be a leap to go from what I had been, which in a lot of ways was strategy and operations. It was like agency operations, and moving into being a chief marketing officer and trying to figure that out. Meantime, it was I got hired at a point that was right after private equity investment. When I got hired, we had 19 locations.
Ooh.
And then
Wow.
we went from a period of really fast growth, all privately owned.
Well, and you've been there 4 years, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
4 years. So you grew from 19 to 52 locations
And in her first role in
as a
the
CMO.
restaurant
That has to be overwhelming.
as a CMO. That is crazy.
So what did you tackle
See
first?
the tear lies. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no worries. I do Botox.
Well,
Work on it.
The first few years, it felt like, honestly, all I was doing was opening restaurants and trying to understand what Condado had been doing and where there was
Keep your head above water.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of opportunity on the digital side because it was still a small brand, and so that was my bread and butter. So I was able to make a lot of improvements just through how we were spending media, optimizing the website, loyalty.
Well, and where you came from, right? You were already optimizing media.
And I understand agency relationships. So I right-sized some of those partnerships and just the way we were structuring fees. So like out of the gate, there's like the part I was comfortable with, the part I had no experience with. I'll tell you what, I still hate printing.
Fair enough. Word. Fair enough. It's like once that error is out there, it's there for life.
It's so different.
Do you know how
digital.
many people still hand me business cards? And I'm like, do
I
you know what I'm going to do?
I hand you business cards.
Oh, well, I don't. I throw them away.
You know what? I want them so that people at the end of the day, when they're cleaning out their pockets, they go, oh, yeah, it's just a little reminder, a little piece of trash
Just
they
put
can carry
something
around.
free on it for me. Like,
well, that's an idea.
or make it a sticker.
Sorry.
I
This
know.
about you, Sarah.
This is what we should, like,
I got sidetracked.
Let's innovate business cards, guys.
Printing it. I got there.
Okay, if we're going to talk about it, the real thing is I don't want someone to bump my phone because then when I get home, I have to go, what was their name? And I cannot find that contact. So I do not get that that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you're
just
like
don't like
super
bumping in
dreamy and I
general.
want to remember you.
Oh.
How about grinding?
Oh, good. Sarah went there. It wasn't us. It was
I couldn't
not
help
us.
It was a softball.
All right. So, Ohio, 52 locations now. Is there more growth happening?
Yes, we've slowed it down. So we were opening 10 to 12 restaurants a year.
Yeah.
And then we opened in a lot of new markets. And then we started to see some pullback and just the general like macroeconomic impact in the last couple years of foot traffic and like some changes in patterns of traffic that were like, we really need to understand why this is happening, what's working. We identified that just some core fundamental brand elements needed addressed. Our logo, it was, giant Condado Tacos, Tequila, Margaritas, really small and underrepresented. So we're going through the processes of a rebrand.
Oh, cool.
Visual identity and then also like position and market. And we also took like a beat and just like our culture had gotten pretty fragmented.
Yeah.
And we really, I think, almost did like a, kind of like that self-assessment and just focused a lot on internally, how do we make sure that we are strong? And I feel really good about where we are at right now as a brand. And we're moving back into like a position of what will be growth and kind of positioning ourselves as a leader in this market.
So there's a lot of people in the taco space and I've never been to Condado, but what's your sort of differentiation on
They have
product
margaritas.
or-
That's what I heard. Did you hear that?
Well, I heard tequila and then I thought,
is,
okay,
yeah.
higher check average and I'm more likely to go there.
Yeah.
Right. But there's just, the space is crowded. There's a lot of these sort of hip taco concepts. So I don't want to name any of your competitors, but what sets you guys apart? Like, why are you different?
Yeah, there's a few things. One is our bar offering. So all of our restaurants have a full bar. We offer 80 tequilas.
Ooh.
We just launched 6 new margarita flavors that are really exciting flavor combinations like dragon fruit habanero and prickly pear lavender, blood orange jalapeno. These like really unique clashes of flavors that are fantastic, truly. And we do that in a flight. So there's a lot of experiential elements to our brand that set us apart. And it kind of varies by channel of like what our differentiators are. On off premise, it's like speed and accuracy, and really with catering too, it's like the speed and accuracy and the way that we handle guest.
Do you deliver alcohol?
That's what I was thinking too.
Wow.
in the states where it's
In the
allowed?
states where it's
Yeah.
legal.
Not in Wisconsin, ironically. Who knew?
I don't think California either.
They're no
so.
fun.
Yeah, they're no fun. No,
Yes.
we have to go somewhere to drink.
You have it, yeah. Awful.
That's great. And do you oversee culinary?
Partner.
Okay,
Partner
very
closely.
cool.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Our founder is heavily involved in culinary. It's still our chief innovation officer, and we have a lot of kind of day one employees. So our top chef is actually someone who's been with the company for the entire 10 years too.
I really want tacos right now.
Oh my God. So you said something that struck me. You said that you could tell that your traffic had changed and you could see certain segments. How did you get that information? Like, where did you go to learn that?
Yeah, so it started out at a very high level when we were looking at, changes in same store sales and that going from being, very positive to neutral and then like starting to decline. And then like we could at least break that down into channel. It really kind of shone a light on some data issues that we had as a company, and not being able to drill down further than that to understand if it was an acquisition issue, if it was a retention issue, why that was happening, which caused us to take a look at our systems that we have around data, the tech that we're using, and launch some new programs and do some data
I'm getting turned on.
I know.
Oh my God.
And so that was like,
Yeah.
kind of took some time to do. And we're just now at a point where we can do true ROI assessments on marketing campaigns that we do. We understand what is happening with we now have like the rearview mirror to tell us what happened. And so that it feels much better because we understand.
You can't predict if you don't know what happened, right?
Yes.
So I want to talk about family. So
Let's talk about
you
family.
said you have some children.
I do. I have 2 beautiful babies.
How old?
How old?
So my daughter Lola is 5.
Oh.
We call her Lo, and my son Mills is 2.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so you just said you've been at this company for 4 years. So that means when you started, you had a 1-year-old,
Yep.
and then you had another baby shortly after starting. How did you handle this?
Well, I think that I'm very fortunate in that I have an incredibly supportive partner, a great family, and they are also in Columbus, so I have a lot of help. I think that's probably first and foremost, and then I also just love what I do. If I'm being honest, like I think it was a challenge, but I got to learn so much, and I'm surrounded by such a fantastic team that, it wasn't like me doing it, was us like doing it and figuring it out together.
Well, and I always say, like, if you want to hire someone who can multitask, find a working mom.
Yep.
Because, man, a 2 and a 5-year-old, you are busy, and then you're able to commit to your team, to your company, and love what you do. That's pretty
Do you
impressive.
work in the office or do you get to work from home?
We work primarily in the office, so we are in the office about 4 days a week. And at first, that was a hard transition because after being fully remote and then hybrid, but now I love it. I do. It gets it's like a place where there's a lot of brainstorming and collaboration that's needed, but we also have some fully remote employees, and if it's the right person, it works. It has to be the right person. And that FaceTime is important too, like to, make the in-person time. But I'm all for working in office. I know that probably makes me not everyone's favorite.
I mean, I like talking, so being in office is nice.
Yes.
I like talking
Can
too, but I don't
whiteboard.
have the phone all day long. Oops. It's just my phone. So what kind of team do you have at work? You talked about your team at home, but how big is your team at work?
Yeah. So my team at work, I think it's 10 people total. We have, the way that it's structured is that I have a director of brand and CX, and we actually have creative roll up under a brand and CX. So I have a director of art under him, and then a senior designer on that team. And then we have our loyalty and CRM. That fall under him as well, and then like our social team, which is both organic social, overseeing paid social. We outsource our paid performance media, and they also oversee influencers. So some like channels that fall there. Local restaurant marketing and field marketing is managed by our senior director of off-premise. And then we have a project manager supporting him. And then I actually have catering that rolls up to me too. Yep.
That's fantastic. I think for 52 restaurants to have a team of 10.
That's
have that
fantastic, yeah.
all roll up under you, being new to the restaurant industry. That's really incredible stuff, Sarah.
Thank you.
You should be proud.
Well, it sounds like your company really invests in marketing,
They
which
do.
is awesome.
Believe
All
that
right.
never happens. And her
True.
tenure is more than
No.
18 months.
I think we need to do some food for thought.
Oh, food for thought. Okay, I like to always ask, what's your favorite restaurant that is not yours? It can be a chain, it can be an independent, it can be whatever you want.
Well, so my favorite restaurant is a local spot called Third and Hollywood in Columbus, and it's probably my favorite due to having had so many dates there and team outings, and like the food is
Good.
fantastic.
I feel like your partner's really going to like that comment.
I was like, this
With
pre-partner,
him,
post-partner.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if it was different guys. I had no idea.
Oh, her husband still takes her out. That's cute.
That's so nice.
So we've only been married 7 years.
Oh, that's
so
why.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. Yes,
It's downhill from here.
It's already gone downhill after the kids, So. But no, and the food's fantastic. The experience, there's a lot of like little personal touches, things they do really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. What's a hobby when you're not with children or at work? What do you like to do?
So I love to travel. don't get to do that very often anymore, but do
Yeah.
love to travel. And then I love to paint, which I also don't do very often anymore, but I'm holding on to hope.
What kind of painting?
Yeah.
Oil painting, acrylic.
That's
Do
so cool.
Those wine and paint nights. That's a good way to get your
That's
little
fun.
fix in
Yeah,
with
yeah,
some
yeah.
friends. Okay, so next question. We are here at Industry Now, so I feel like we should thank them for letting us come and
Thank you.
ask a question about the keynotes that we saw this morning from Miss Alice Crowder and someone else maybe that's sitting with us. Yeah. What was something that struck you from that conversation, from anything this morning that we've seen so far?
A few things. I'll do Aaron's session. So a few things that I really loved was your focus on the fact that marketing is numbers and math, and that we need to not shy away from that, but embrace it and lean in and challenge ourselves and challenge our partners to really think about not just working media, but really the total investment and where are we seeing a return. Loved that. Loved the tech consolidation. I felt, I was like, oof, I need to go back, take this one home and really think through that, because we probably have some opportunity there. And so those were two things that really stood out. It was fantastic.
Aw, thank
Okay,
you.
good. That was only the
Awesome.
morning. We got some good content coming.
Yes.
All right. Well, as we wrap up, Sarah, you're amazing, and
Oh,
your
thank
story is
you.
amazing, and the fact that first CMO, like that is impressive, and she's lasted more than 18 months,
Yes.
which, as we know, that's the
Yes.
average tenure for a CMO. At 4 years plus having babies, you're an incredibly impressive woman.
Oh, thank you.
So we're excited that you joined us on stage. And thank you for being here. Our last question that we ask everyone is, if you could think of one woman or women that you would nominate to come on the podcast, who would you want to hear?
I would have to tap Brandy Blackwell.
Oh, I don't.
How do you know
She hasn't
Brandy?
been on.
She's a friend. And she's been tapped by somebody before, I think.
Oh, she has to join then.
Yes. How do you know Miss Brandy?
So she was at Another Broken Egg.
Yes.
Yes.
And we share a partner between Condado and Another Broken Egg.
Oh,
so
okay.
we
great.
got to know
I
each
love
other
Brandy.
that way.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, we're a big fan of the Brandy Club here.
All right, Brandy, you heard your name.
Yes, you're
Get on
in.
this podcast. Well, it's been great to have you, and anyone listening, like, share, subscribe, smoke signal, whatever you need to do.
All the
Review us
things.
5 stars,
Tell a
unless you don't
friend.
feel 5 stars, in which case don't review us. But we would love to hear from you. Reach out to Tammy or myself. This is Bite-Sized and Bossy. Thanks for watching.
Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going.